Hello everyone, and what are we doing today? Well, we're talking about one of my old creations that I have actually been messing around with a lot in Factorio, which has been Combinator scripting, which is allowing you to make an entire script inside of Factorio and having it run automatically without any player interaction, or whatever interaction I don't want to give it. uh, In any case, if you all remember a while back to a video I made called Self-Expanding Factory Demonstration, that's the wrong thumbnail. Give me a second to fix that. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. If you remember that video, then, well, I'm still messing with the self-expanding factory and it's still getting better, but anyways, I'm going to give you the main tool that actually allows me to make such a crazy device and let you guys experiment with it on your own terms. I'm also going to teach you how to use it. So, in any case, enough diddling dallying on my end. Let me actually get into a live demonstration of what this looks like in practice. Hi there. Sorry about this. I noticed a mistake during the video editing process that I had simply forgotten to mention the mods that we'll be using for this Combinator scripting. My apologies. So the two mods that we'll be utilizing to make this Combinator scripting are Recursive Blueprints made by Dave MCW and Do Robots Build Automatic Trains by Quan. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I would also like to give some respect to Woob Software for actually making the game Factorio and everyone who took part in making this brilliant game that we all love and enjoy so dearly. Alright, back to our main program. So over here we got a nice little demonstration all set up for us to tinker with. Or not tinker, but just kind of play with. If I were to just click this and just drag it over here, we can watch a nice little script play out right before our eyes. And as you can see, it has now written the lovely message, "I love my co-engineers," with flashing lamps. How lovely. But this is more of a proof of concept that you could just do whatever the heck you want with this Combinator scripting method. And if I were to flip the switch again, I could get the system just kind of pick itself back up and reset for the next run. I mean, that's pretty nice, and the fact that I only had to flip a switch for the whole system to understand to do all of that is even better. So, before we get into the actual complexity of the statements that we see right before our eyes playing back and forth, we're going to talk about the core. And if I just jump cut, here we go. So we got 3 different cores. I have a custom one that I use, and then I'll be giving you guys these 2 in your own book. In any case, we have the simple model, which breaks up your input values that you can get from, well, just anything you plug into the system, into 4 nice little quadrants that you can just kind of use to pull and modify data however you wish from these arithmetic combinators. It also comes equipped with a nice little stop lever if you ever need to stop the project or unit from running for whatever reason, with a handy stop light. I mean, that's pretty nice. If we were to move up another layer, we added a little counter, so if you want to keep track of which statement you're on and have this always be updated, then yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's the same way of having these memory cells I added, which are just constant combinators that when you stamp down a blueprint, it's just going to alter its contents or its signal values. Same concept over here. And I gave you basically memory combinators in all 4 quadrants again to allow you to do more complicated problems. I also made it so if you connect multiple cores together on the green line, you can have a project stop lever or button. I should really call these buttons, but here's your individual unit button, and here is your project stop button. They both have their own lights. And if we were to keep going a little further, something I made for myself, I have some extra commands I made, a security system checker, and I added extra security along with some other bits and bobs. But what I'm basically trying to say here is, if you need to make a custom core for your project, you should be able to do that with no problem. I have left you with sufficient space to do just such a thing. In any case, let us dive into the meat and potatoes, the individual statements that this whole video is about. And now for the core of Combinator scripting, the 4 statements there are to making a script. We have a top and bottom copy of each statement. We have a wait/till statement, a command statement, a if statement, and a directory statement. Each of them have different properties and uses. And today I will teach you how to use the wait/till statement. Now in our little demonstration area, I have grabbed the wait statement for us to work with today. Now this is a little bit of a complex machine for you guys to program, though it shouldn't be that difficult. The first thing is you want to modify which blueprint you want this statement to build to once it has passed its check or whatnot, or once it's met its criteria. So I want this to build blueprint 2, for example. Alright, so now that's all set. Then we move on to our 5 conditions we want it to wait for. So those 5 conditions can be anything you really want, though there are a few things I would stay away from, which would be W, X, Y, and H. Due to that could sometimes mess up the statements needed for the next blueprint, because that could be interpreted as a coordinate. Anyway, so if we were to just say we want to wait for a value of 9 equals 9, and we could do 5 different signals. I'm just going to do 2. So 9 equals 9 and 8 equals 8. Simple, right? Alright, and then to just kind of fill in the rest of the gaps, you want to make sure all 5 of these combinators have something typed into them, or else the statement will not fire. Next, we want to set our checker. So we have a built-in checker, 9 equals 9 and 8 equals 8. Now the moment I punch this in, this light on the right will go on. That tells us that everything is good to go. And voila, the light is on, but the left top right lamp is still off. That means the statement is still waiting. So finally we need to connect this to the combinator we want for input. So we grab from our input and we connect up here. It could be either green or red wire, it doesn't really matter. And we have 9, 9, but only 7, 8. So 7, 8. 1, 9, 8. The statement will not fire. But the moment I lower this down to 8, all the criteria was met and the statement played its course. And thus deleted itself and will have built the next statement. Now that I have cleaned up a little bit, now if you wanted to record this into a script before it just plays itself out, you could simply grab yourself a book, put in your hotbar, and then you're just going to grab whatever item you want. So in this case we'll grab this little combinator, and just kind of copy it all in. You want to copy not this one, but your arithmetic combinator, and whatever you want. Generally, I try to keep it to a minimum, and I would always label this as like 0.1 point whatever version you're on. So this is 0.1 or 0.1.0 because it's the first blueprint we've made, and it's the first illustration of it. Now, if you have tracks, now if you want to make sure this is easy for you and you don't have to enter in random coordinates for everything, you could type in here 1 and 1, and then left shift and left click the blueprint deployer. And voila, you've now set the absolute location, so when the system actually gets its signal to build the next thing, it should build on this red flag being the center. And if everything has that red flag on the blueprint deployer, you will never have to enter in coordinates for the project, which will make your life a lot easier. Now, if you had any, say, tracks in your blueprints, you would want to make sure you type in 2 and then again left click onto that blueprint deployer chest, and it would still build. Also, you want to make sure which order you build your blueprint, or you want to make sure you put your blueprints in order, because if I put blueprint 1 here and I tell it to build blueprint 2, it's only going to build what's in this slot. It doesn't know to look for blueprint 02 point whatever. Now it's going based off slots. But I say you need to put a number in just so it's easier for you to navigate your own system. Hi again, everyone. Yes, I made another error. So the error this time was I failed to mention that you should probably download a program called Draw.io or something like it, where you can basically make a flowchart of your scripts. That way you have an easier time making these scripts in game, because trying to keep track of all the numbers in your head, yeah, it's not going to work. It might work for a simple 7 blueprint script, as you can see, but as you start to expand and make more complicated scripts, as you can see with medium and now large scripts, it can get a bit difficult to memorize. And no, having a .txt that goes line by line and talking about all this is not going to help you much either. You need a visualization. In any case, I will leave you with your regular program. Sorry about the extra minutes I've added onto this video. In any case, that's all I have for you guys today. And I promise you the next episode will be a bit easier to follow. Well, maybe not easier to follow, but at least shorter. In any case, have a good day.